Welcome to Grow Family Network. So today, guys, we're excited because it's our first time growing our mung beans, and we finally gonna start harvesting. So I'll show you how to harvest the mung beans for the first time. It's just like the way how you harvest some, like, the other beans that been growing in your garden. So that's the same thing, but this one is we just wait until they really get brown or turn to black color. So when you you would know that it's already been dried inside, like this one, and it's more easier for them to get out. So that's how it look inside, guys, for the mung beans. And then it's just like the same like how you cook some of the other beans, but this more easier to cook because they will cook faster than the other bean. So I just gotta be careful over here. So I will just keep picking. We had a lot to pick, and it's getting hot here outside. Yeah, this is it.
So we were actually probably supposed to start picking weeks ago, but we've been having this crazy weather that every time we say we're gonna pick, it rains. And so what you don't want to do is you don't want to harvest them wet. You want the sun to kind of dry them out. If you harvest them wet, then you'll have like the mold problem. So like every day we get ready to pick, it rains again. So we have to wait again and wait again. And you can see how the wind from these pods being so heavy, and the wind just takes them and just throws them all which way. So we really want to get in here and kind of give these plants a real good relief. And as we pick them, you can see on the tops we're gonna get more and more. So this is our first picking, but you can see the green pods, like she said, they're gonna turn dark brown and black. Tell us about the green pods while you're picking them. Can you harvest them green?
Yes. So you can harvest the pods green. If you like to eat them green, you can. But like most people is they just like their mung beans to turn into seeds.
They like them like a dried bean?
Yeah, like dry beans, because they're more easier to store than the green one.
Oh yeah.
Because when you pick it, the green one, you had to eat it because it's not really like gonna be.
It's not gonna last.
Yeah, it's not. It's not gonna be taste better than like the other beans. So that's the best way to do it.
You're doing good. You picking some beans? So this looks like thousands and thousands of pods, as Bells has just gotten started on one bush.
Yes, just one bush.
So we probably, I think, if I'm not mistaken, when we planted these, we planted
like April.
20, no, like I'm talking about like 22 holes.
Oh, yeah.
So we made like 20 holes in our black plastic, if you can see under here. All right, so Bells, and inside, let's see if I can get in. Inside the 20 holes, Bells probably put about 5 or 6 seeds, and we didn't thin these at all. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the little small one 9. So 9 seeds. We were gonna thin. Now that's just in this one. We have some of them that's less. I don't think some of them might be 4 or 5. We were gonna thin, but of course, like I said, it was like every time we get ready to do something else calls our attention. So we end up just saying, you know what? We got so much going on. Let's just see what it does. Since this is our first year actually growing these. And I mean, I'm talking a lot, but I could be helping a little bit. I mean, they're so dry. You can just, here you go, baby. Good job. You can just pull them off. Can you pull off these black ones for Daddy? Can you go do that? You can put this down. Just get some of those black ones, the ones that's dark black like that.
Black as mommy.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. There you go.
Second, I'm on my second thing.
So we'll probably pick out here for a while. Depends. Bevs is a professional picker, so the kids are not even really up yet. So they're just waking up, so they're not out here. I would love for them to come out. So we might leave maybe a few, and this is how we do with our kids. People probably wonder, we get a lot of comments about us with our kids in the garden. We don't actually make the kids come out and do much work at all. For the most part, it's as they grow. Like my son is just starting to do a little yard work. As the kids grow, we actually kind of just ask them to come out and pick a few things. We don't really ask them to do much work. So on our property, our kids' job is basically some planting. If they want to come out and plant with us, they do some planting, and we try to get them to harvest some things just to show them how it's done. Because all our kids are so young, they're not really working age besides my oldest son. And likewise, I don't want to burn them out by making them do gardening chores. I more so like to see them watch us and see what it takes and what we're doing. And sometimes they actually ask to come out and do a few things. So that's how we actually are raising the children in the garden, as opposed to the way I was raised when you had to do everything. Whatever daddy said, your behind was out there. Whatever mama said, your behind was out there. Kids today are a little different, maybe because we're raising them different. But as I was talking to my son, when I was young, basically when I saw daddy outside cutting or doing something, work or picking up trash, I didn't wait for him to come and say, hey, come out here, boy, and cut. I was going out like, daddy, you need me to do something? But kids today, I don't know. You gotta make them, which is okay as long as you make them. So we do have some things that we kind of make them do as far as cleaning up inside, but in the garden it's more so we like to let them learn by watching what we're doing. And of course, they do know that the food that they're eating, whether it's coming from the store or the garden, because they'll ask us, like when we did a chicken, they was like, hey, is this our chicken? Like, oh no, that ain't our chicken, that's from the store. So a lot of stuff we cook, they will ask, did this come out the garden? Is that out the garden? And we'll tell them. We don't try to keep secrets, whether or not it's something we've actually raised or whether or not it's something that's actually from the garden. So that's how we do with the kids. Picking is fun though. Picking isn't hard work.
Yeah. Oh.
Look at that. Look at that.
Mama, see something in your bag?
Yeah. What is that? Bug?
That's gonna be good. This is our first year on mung beans. If you planted a
Field.
field of these things, oh my goodness.
We had to harvest them for days.
It's like every day would be a job. Harvesting would actually be a real job. Kind of like that okra. They got their flowers are open this morning. Bees are going in them. You can see them over there. The flowers are open. Bees are in them. Oh man, what a sight to see. What a sight to see. Look at that.
It's the best part.
Yeah, and we don't really, a lot of people want to know, how do we take care of 3 acres full of food? Our land is 3 acres. I don't know how much area our gardens take up. We just have an area in just about every part of the yard that has some kind of growing garden in it. And we don't own a tiller, so we have to figure out ways to make our work as less as possible. And that's where the fabric comes in, the garden fabric. That's where the wood chips, the leaves, the raised beds, because we have those things, we actually take our raised beds and grow so much of our stuff in those raised beds, and we don't have to fight. Look at that. Get up in there. Get all of it out of there. Get all of it out of there. Get as much as you can. We don't have to fight the grass. That's what slows a lot of people down, is the grass. So the way we actually garden, my concept on gardening is get rid of as much grass as you can naturally, not with herbicides or like grass killing Roundup, but as naturally as possible. You can get rid of as much of the grass problem as you can. As you can see, we still have grass that grows up in between this. Look at this. See, we still have grass growing up in between here. But if this plastic wasn't here, if this fabric wasn't here, this stuff would be overrun with grass. After 2 or 3 days of straight rain, where you can't come outside to cut grass or weed eat if you wanted to, because of so much rain, you wouldn't be able to actually get ahead of it. So by putting down the plastic and the mulch and those things really help you, where you don't need a lot of help. As far as if I had the amount of space we had and I didn't have this black fabric down, I would probably need a crew out here to help me actually raise this food. One thing we actually did while she's picking that, one thing we actually did this year is our loquat didn't fruit anything. This is about 4 years old, Bells?
Yeah.
So it's about 4 years old and didn't fruit this year. The one that we planted at our property that we just left, at the family property, it actually fruited this year, and I actually went over there and got some. So I'm thinking next year is going to be the year for this one, because we planted this one a year after the one at our other property. But what I did this year was I went ahead and I planted some long beans. You probably can't see them, but then now you can. Planted some long beans on it to use it as a trellis this year. Hopefully next year it'll do its thing. And this thing is gorgeous. Had to have one of them, huh? Yeah.
To wear gloves.
I was talking about you. Yeah, I was talking about you. I said this thing is gorgeous.
You wasn't talking to me. I said you need to put some gloves on to when you harvesting this, because it's itchy.
So maybe like the okra, you need some long sleeves and some gloves.
Yeah, this is make it itchy. Because I think the like it's what I think called them.
Little fiberglass little things
like,
on it.
Like fiberglass. But they want they're not really itchy.
But it's
bad.
coming off nice and easy.
Yeah, they're not really itchy bad.
Look at that. I mean, it just comes off.
Go put this over there.
Love it.
You go almost. Oh.
Good job.
Dali.
Good job, my baby. Good job. My little baby haven't even had breakfast yet.
Yep, no breakfast.
She's out working. Our little kids do more work in the garden than our bigger kids. And that's how since we've had, actually we have to, like Ari, we kind of have to bring her outside with us, because we can't leave her inside, because she has to be watched. She's had so much energy. So the smaller kids have always been out with us more. If you've watched our older videos, it was always my other kids in them that was younger, and that's why I would take them out with me. Like I said, now the older kids, we kind of more so let them stay inside so they can watch like the baby and keep their eyes on the baby, because in the fall it's good to have everybody outside, but in the summertime not so much. It gets so hot out here that it just doesn't pay to have everyone out here.
It's good. It's not that hot today.
Yeah, go ahead on and get you while we out here.
You gotta be careful. You gotta move, Daddy.
Hold on, let me get them. Got us a nice hole down up in there. Don't know what kind of hole it is. Get off of there.
Look how much this is.
Irene, come get this. Come get this, Irene. Look, this one too. No, fell. Look at that sucker. Fell on the ground. I'll take it on in.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll take it on in.
You gotta take this big one too and just leave it in the
Look at that.
counter.
Uh-oh, Tyler.
All right,
That's
go
heavy,
ahead.
Bubba.
It's getting heavy?
No.
You can
Put
go
it in the
dump
bucket,
it.
good. Go.
You want me to do it? Go put it up in that bucket over there.
Almost done on this aisle, on this side. I gotta go to the other side.
So we have a lot going on. It came out, I was just telling Bevs, it's been raining so much. We haven't even been able to get out here and harvest our okra. And we have okra just
All over. We gonna do the same.
everywhere. I mean, we got to get it off of there because that's getting too big. You can't do nothing with them when they get that big but throw them to the chickens. Inedible at that point. Now somebody did tell me that the harder ones you can use for gumbo, like when they do like the okra gumbos. The harder ones, since you gotta cook it a little bit longer, but
Yeah, boo.
I'd rather the nice and small and tender ones. So, but we do have to chop them. No, you don't have to pick that one, baby. Just watch where you're walking. Stay by mama, okay?
Last one on this side. Just the last one on this side.
I got that from my bucket.
Oh, I'll put it in the bucket. Come on, let's go on the other side. That's it.
So we're gonna finish harvesting, and then we'll do this. We'll just come back when we're finished.
Almost. Look at this bucket. Almost full.
And we'll show you just how much we were able to pick today. Give us
Yep.
1 second, we'll be back. All right, so we're just about finished. Just about done.
It's the last one.
So took us a good little while to get through it. Of course, I acted like I was doing a little work, but I probably did about 1 or 2 plants. And my lovely Bells did the rest.
That's it.
But we got most of them. I say this every year, one of the toughest things about growing food is harvesting food and having the energy in the middle of June, July, and August to actually come out, because it doesn't matter if it's in the morning, it doesn't matter if it's in the afternoon, it's hot. I mean, and if you have any kind of medical conditions or problems, please do your work at the coolest part of the day, whatever time of the day that is, because this sun does not play, and it's starting to get hotter because everybody's always in air conditioning. So when you come outside, it probably feels about 10 degrees hotter than what it actually is to your body. So this is our mung bean video, our first time growing mung beans. Still gotta go in, and Bevs is gonna
Peel
take
them.
some of them out like you were showing us so we can see it inside.
Yay.
So basically what she does is she'll open those up.
And then just throw that and then.
Yeah,
But-
compost that,
Don't throw this peel off like this whatever you wanna call husk.
the husk.
Husk.
Yeah, peel, husk,
Peel,
whatever, shell.
Yeah. Use this shell to put it in your barbecue pit
Yeah.
to start the fire. I always do that. Use the beans thing to use. Or
So she used
just
most
throw
of
it
the
away.
husk. She used the okra pods. After we take the seeds out of the okra pods, she actually used those in the barbecue pit. But that gives you a better look of how your mung beans look dried, which is also your seeds. So for next year, you can actually plant those same beans to get more of those. You find these in your Asian stores, your Mexican stores, some of them that sells mung beans. Really good, really nutritious, a really different taste than what you're probably used to having. And it's cool to grow something new every year.
Yep.
So Thank y'all for watching the Grow Family Network. She's already ready.
Grow,
Grow, grow,
grow,
grow.
peace.
Peace.
Bye, guys.